What is up, you awesome kisters? It's CistReactZ, guys. Today we're reacting to Game Theory, or theories killing video games. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the Game Theorists, and comment down below. So let's get into this bop. So
Let me tell you a story, a true story. A story about an email I received from a game developer that, for privacy reasons, has
theories
to go
killing
nameless.
video games.
But let me assure you that it's someone who works on a game franchise that you're quite familiar with. Anyway, we've done a theory or two trying to predict the plot line and some early twists.
I think I've seen some stuff about this video. This one became really popular on Twitter. By the way, speaking of social medias, yeah, let's get that up on the screen. Yeah, follow my Twitter, follow my Facebook Gaming. Got some Overwatch 2 gameplay on there. Oh, wow, and that just appeared on screen. Anyway, yeah, I heard that it might have been a Bendy dev that, no, a Hello Neighbor dev that talked to him about this video.
For their upcoming game. Out of the blue, I received this email
from
the CEO of the company asking me if I had a mole on the inside feeding me information. Now, obviously it was a joke, but also not quite a joke. Anyway, I was just ecstatic that we were on the right track.
So that means he was right about a game?
The game came
so
out,
right that they thought someone was snitching?
Theory had predicted. It also seemed rushed and a bit unpolished, like a lot had been changed in the game last minute. It got me wondering whether our theories had prompted them to change the game in order to move the storyline away from what I'd predicted. But
change
no,
the game?
That couldn't be right? Are developers actually changing their games in response to fan theories? Well, friends,
nah,
that's exactly
that would actually
what
be
I aim to find out
insane.
Today.
Like, everything we know about a video game would be changed because MatPat said something about it? Nah, that would be a whole different, like, type of... That'd be a whole different type of mind blow for me. Like, imagine Bendy had a whole chapter worth of content that was actually going to be jaw-dropping, but because MatPat was just a little bit right about how it was going to go, they changed it.
Game Theory, the show that 60% of the time gets it right every time. Lately,
apparently so.
Shoot. Me, I've been seeing a lot of discussion around my role, this channel's role in the wider games industry. Obviously, I got that email that I mentioned in the cold open, but I also had this random conversation the other week with someone who said that getting a theory video made for your series is like landing a white whale. Let's just make sure that
landing
there are
a white whale.
There, Ahab. There's also been videos from creators like Dags and Sagan Hawks that explore the evolution of indie horror and our specific role in that.
Well, those videos sound interesting.
Enough, you may get the blessing of the gods that is a game theory video on your story.
In this era of post-FNAF indie horror, it can be
post-FNAF
really
indie horror.
To chase that trend, filling your game with secret lore. But if it doesn't fit your concept, don't do it. Don't chase that game theory video.
There's also meme material
like
this.
They got all in Hello Neighbor too.
I don't bring all this up to be self-aggrandizing, like, oh, look at how important we are to the games industry.
Look at me, I'm MatPat.
To question the assumption: is this actually true? Is there evidence to suggest that games are changing themselves in response to theorists? Have we and other online theorists shaped
it's Daco, Super Horror Bros.
And marketed, and
they made it.
Sometimes resulted in worse games. Well, first and foremost, we know that we have a very strong impact on search results. Last May, during our video on the game Only Can,
we looked into
this
this.
joke about the 19-year-old meme Lemon Party. That new flavor's name, Lemon Party. By the way, do not Google that. Super random, right? But
do not Google that. I'm gonna Google it. Hang on, we're gonna see my reaction to searching that up. Okay, I'm assuming he's saying it's bad because there's some not so good stuff for kitty audiences. So kids, don't repeat what I do. All right, but I just want to search it to see what happens. All right, let me see. All right, let me see. Images.
Off of that very brief mention, suddenly searches for the term Lemon Party hit their highest point in 5 years. And this is after we told you to not Google it. So do me a favor, don't hit that subscribe button, and absolutely do not leave a comment that has the...
For what I just witnessed for this video, I'm not going to tell you to not hit that subscribe button. I'm going to tell you to hit that subscribe button. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new. And make sure you have all notifications on by hitting that notification bell, guys. And comment down below if you've seen this part of the video. Because...
word jump kick in it.
Anyway, don't search it up.
disappointed
Don't-
in you if you do, but that's just
don't
a
search it
term.
up.
What about an actual game? Well,
Don't.
I dug around using Google Trends, which, if you're not familiar, tracks the volume of search traffic over time. Data that can then be filtered by
What if those just say, how do I
geographic search
ratio?
platform. So we started to look at games that the channel had covered in the past, starting with one from
Damn, these
4
guys
years
actually, like,
ago,
looked at the
VR
history, though.
game Duck Season.
Like, the
If you don't
science,
remember
the
this
search
one, it had a
results.
cute animal mascot, a horrible family.
Oh, I remember
dead
that. It's the
kids,
VR
and
game.
1980s aesthetic, and none of this is really helping narrow it
And then, like,
down
you get
because
trapped in
it
the
was our
game,
mission
right?
in that first video to reveal the identity of the murderous dog mascot behind it all. Just another normal day over here at Game Theory. That video is one of our best performing videos.
Oh, yeah, and he, like,
of all
comes out of
time
the game at one
with
point.
19 million views. So we
Dang.
stuck the term Duck Season into Google Trends, and wouldn't you know it, the timing of our video's release corresponded to the highest peak in search traffic ever for both YouTube and on the web in general. Other
God
spikes
dang.
and trends certainly seem to exist immediately after the game's release.
He has a
which Jacksepticeye
huge influence on that.
played the game, but in
Like, God.
December of 2017,
Golly, I think I played that game too.
dropped to 47% of the high. Then in January,
Probably 'cause I played it. It dropped
immediately
47.
After our theory, 100% all-time high of search
I can't make
traffic.
things
If
cool.
we get even more granular, you can see that the highest point from 12/1/2017 to 1/31/2018 is December 31st, the day after our video came out. We kept
Wow.
searching and we kept seeing the same thing over and over again.
I like the
game
little
release
animation.
Garden, video June 22nd, 2021, 100% spike in YouTube search
On a mobile
immediately
game?
afterward. And
You-
that
there's
was
lore in a
the release
mobile
November
game?
26th, 2021. Our video December 12th, 2021, 100% spike. And it
Family on
wasn't
Fire.
just for
What is
game
that?
theory either. Nightmind, a theorist for all things creepy, had a video on Catastrophe Crow 64 in early February 2021. And sure enough, we see a sizable spike in trends for the United States right after the video releases. When you run the same trend search worldwide, get a different 100% during the week of February 21st to 27th. When Dross Rotzank, award-winning Venezuelan
what is that
YouTuber,
profile
released
picture?
his
Holy
video on
crap.
the topic. And then our video came out on March 13th, setting a new higher
The player
benchmark
is
for the whole
dead.
thing. Theorists, not just us. It
Well,
would
that's a
get
mind
people
blower.
excited to search for more info on the games that they talk about. But okay, this is all for small titles that no one would normally be searching for. What about something
Wow,
more mainstream?
that came out a little mean.
Well, we see this trend
Christ.
happening with massive titles as well. In 2019, Minecraft saw this massive resurgence in popularity with its 10-year anniversary
Minecraft.
happening in May, and then PewDiePie picking up the game in June. Long live
I
Vance
gotta watch that
Vance.
video.
But
I didn't even know he
despite
did
a year
that.
Full of huge events for this long-running,
Kinda sad I don't watch
massively
PewDiePie anymore.
popular series, searches for Minecraft peaked on both YouTube and on the web.
And because
between
Smash
July
Bros.
21st and 27th.
Because Smash
The
Bros.
week
had it on
we
there.
started our deep dive lore analysis into the game. In fact,
Oops,
that
sorry, I hit my
week was
desk.
the most searched that Minecraft had been since 2015. A record that has
Dang.
only been surpassed in mid-2020 by the surge of some guy that you might be familiar with, Dream. Even when you're talking about crazy viral hits like Among Us, the game hits
Among
its peak
Us.
in web search on September 20th. Our first video on the title came out the day before,
Undefeated.
September 19th. At this point, it
Wait.
certainly seemed like there was a strong
made a theory
correlation
video on
between
Among
all
Us?
coverage of the game and it reaching the height of its search
I gotta watch
traffic
that.
immediately thereafter. And honestly, it does make some amount of anecdotal sense. When you watch our stuff and we tell you that there's something cool and compelling in this game, naturally some of you are going to want to know more. You're going to want to find more clues and help solve the mystery. I mean, why else do you think we've done 50 videos on FNAF at this point? As theorists,
Yeah.
we're not just engaging with these
The
games on
last
surface
FNAF
level,
video's coming
making
out.
jokes
Yeah,
at a game
alright.
and then moving on to the next like a lot of Let's
Hey, it's me
Plays
again.
do. We're trying to immerse you in these worlds, highlight the storytelling that's being done inside the games, or
My gosh,
should be
this
done
effect.
inside these games. And heck, if you like our little primer on it, then you're inclined to dig deeper and explore the world for yourself. But that's just talking about audience interest. What I want to know now is whether these trends have led developers to
Game
start paying
devs, game with
attention to
zero
us.
lore,
Have
fan
online
theories.
Theorists actually made an impact in the way that games are marketed and made. Now, before I tell you about our hypothetical impact, let me tell you about something that'll definitely have an impact on your wallet. Our sponsor for this portion of today's video
Yo.
is Capital One Shop.
This
Go to
man is
prices
insane.
across the internet, in which you'd be
Now watch Capital One be higher after this.
Capital One shopping, including that grandma is a cold cover to the data. Let's start with a game that we
All right.
actually went back to recently, Merge Mansion. Originally,
Merge
we covered this
Mansion.
mobile game's lore on October 24th,
Oh, I made a
2021,
Photoshop on
including
this.
That grandma is a cold-blooded
On Twitter.
murderer in disguise. Shortly after our theory, a message got sent out to players by the game itself, telling them that grandma did nothing wrong. She has nothing to hide. Followed by a YouTube link where you could find 4 live-action videos starring actress and sledgehammer enthusiast Kathy Bates. Can I prove that we were
What?
the thing that prompted them to go with that campaign? campaign? No, I can't. But does
That's
the timing
crazy.
work out for them to have seen our theory and then leaned into the whole Granny's innocent wink angle? You betcha. That's some circumstantial evidence, but can we make a more one-to-one connection? What about something more substantial? Something a bit more narrative-driven? What about Bendy and the Ink Machine? We made a theory after the release of Chapter 2 talking about this random angel
Hey, it's Boris.
This character that had shown up in a random poster on the walls, speculating
Alice.
that she was going to be important to the story moving forward.
First, we'll see Alice
Hilarious.
center stage as the game goes on. Like Betty Boop, we'll hear about how her popularity skyrocketed, surpassing Bendy.
Sure enough, when Chapter 3 released 123 days after the
You
video,
counted?
the world was introduced to Alice Angel. She was front and center. Now, did we predict what the creators were going to do with Alice all along, or did we somehow speak this new character into being? According to Mike Mood in an interview,
we'd like to say we knew exactly what was going to happen, but really, at the end of the day, we knew the beginning and we knew the end of the game. Everything that happened in between was kind of developed as we went along. In Chapter 2, we had a poster of Alice Angel, and that was just one poster. There was nothing explaining what this character was. The fans just started doing fan art. They just fell in love with the character.
I'm scared to see the fan art sometimes.
It's obvious that Chapter 3 should be about Alice Angel.
that right there is pretty conclusive. They literally took ideas from the fan community and used them to fill out their story.
Interesting.
Which, let me be clear, isn't a bad thing. It's awesome to listen to the fans and respond to the things that they're all most excited about. But it's
just like what
clear
Scott
that
did.
The collective we playing these games.
I didn't know Mike Moon did that though.
We influenced how Bendy turned out in those middle chapters. So now we're starting to see how theories can have an influence for the better or for the worse. Which segues nicely to 300 pounds.
I'm sorry. One more time. When I say this, all right? When I say this. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say because I don't want it to come out rude. But oh my god, that was hilarious.
Worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love it. Oh, how dramatic it was.
In the room, hello neighbor. At least he's a dapper elephant. I mean, he wears a sweater, vest, and everything. Now, you might remember this little series of tweets from April 2020. For anyone that doesn't, TinyBuild, one of the developers for Hello
Everybody
Neighbor,
always
just
posts that on their
released a
TinyBuild's
TV
tweets.
pilot and
People
began
are so
tagging
mean.
Twitter in their posts, seemingly
The TV pilot, bro. Did they even ever have like another episode? Bro, I forgot about that. I reacted to that on my channel, I think, too.
Get another theory out of me. However, some have suggested that this block of tweets is part of a larger pattern of behavior. A pattern that implies that TinyBuild changed the game Hello Neighbor during development to chase theory
Add
videos
theory
like
bait,
ours.
focus
But
on making
is
a
that
good game.
true? To figure it out, we decided to look at the development cycle for the game. I'm gonna skip the first couple of alphas because they didn't give us too much to work with. Basically, during this period, Hello Neighbor's popularity was
And the
doing
sound
fine,
glitch
but
during that?
nothing
Oh my
to write
god,
home
the
about.
buzzing was
Alpha 2
crazy.
was released on November 22nd, 2016, 27 days after the last build. In fact, up until this point, TinyBuild was releasing a new version of Hello Neighbor every 27 to 30 days like clockwork. And wouldn't you know, 30 days after Alpha 2, Alpha 3 gets released. Players are treated to a much larger house
I like that
with more rooms and a ton more to look at.
cover.
But then things start to get weird.
Yeah, I remember
You see,
that.
Sandwiched in there on December 15th is the release of our two-part Hello Neighbor expose, which looked at all the demonic and satanic symbols around our dear Mr. Rogers wannabe.
In the latest alpha,
They had that in the game?
you can find a house
Okay.
on a darkened street. And look at the bottom of his shoes. A seal that reads 666.
Oh.
A sign of the beast.
Combined,
A
these
sign
two
of the
videos
beast.
have been viewed 19.3 million times. Now, there's such a short time period between our video on the 15th and the Alpha 3 release that there's no way our video could have altered that version of the game. Beyond that, though, things get a little bit odd. Alpha 4 is
Alright.
released May the 4th, 2017, a whopping 133 days after Alpha 3. Now, remember, all the other releases were only a month apart, but Alpha 4 was in
This is
development
crazy.
for over 4 times the length of anything prior to it. It's also an oddly similar amount of time to the gap between our video on Alice Angel
Death
and the
to
release
Disney.
of Bendy Chapter 3.
Thumbnails.
It wasn't just the length of time between versions that was noteworthy. It was also what TinyBuild had used the lengthy design time to create
I got the ink phone on 'em.
specifically the game's brand new nightmare sequences. We're broken away from the main stealth gameplay that had been the selling feature up to that point and transported to another section to play surreal minigames where lore takes the center
God.
stage. And this is the trend that would continue until the game's release. Once Hello Neighbor came out, it was disappointing to say the least. A lot of people were really excited about this game, myself included. The original concept of an AI learning how you broke into a house and changing tactics accordingly was brilliant, but it seemed that there was a decision made to chase the hype at the cost of this original concept. They changed tactics and focused more on the lore of the series, which again seems to be backed up by the tweets and their eventual book series and their TV pilot.
Book series?
In turn, they lost focus on the game itself.
I didn't even know that.
It became a broken, buggy mess. But of course, if we're talking about buggy games, no one else
Yikes.
takes the cake like Security Breach.
Oh god.
Freddy,
I'm gonna
Oh,
shove
God.
a beak inside of you.
That glitch was annoying.
And you are going to be able to talk better.
Shove a beak inside you.
Did you hate the idea that much?
You haven't seen so many things, and yet you've seen Karate.
Oh yeah, I did hear that Markiplier. I heard that Markiplier did have it the worst, but I didn't think it was that bad. Freddy just straight up just said, like,
Of you, and you are going to be able to talk better. You.
like, he, like,
Did you hate the idea?
look at it, look at his face. Look at his face. I can just tell he's been through like so many times that he just doesn't even react anymore. Oh
that
man.
much?
You
Poor
haven't
guy.
seen so many things, and yet you've seen Karate Kid, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Wait. Oh,
He
no.
fell
Oh,
off
no.
the
Oh, no.
map?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What happened? What happened? What happened?
That happened to me plenty of times. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I fell through the wormhole, apparently.
If you've watched my theories on the game, you'll know that I walked away confused and disappointed.
Nah, nobody had it worse than me, bro. I swear to God. I don't think I showed it off on my videos when I made the Security Breach series, but there's one point where, after you're done getting the 2 animatronics and you get the 3rd animatronic done, and you need to go back down to put it on Freddy, I'd have this glitch where after I'm done, putting the last part on Freddy, the camera would force itself into Freddy's view, and I can't get Gregory to the computer to insert the part, and I'm just looking at Gregory through Freddy's eyes, and I can see the map and everything behind him. Like, bro, that glitch was horrible.
It felt like the pieces
I had to restart
didn't
the
all
final
quite fit
ending like
together.
5
And now
times,
there's a ton
do
of
that
speculation
annoying
about whether or not
process.
the game that we got was the game that was intended. And to be honest, I'm right there with you. I get it. We released a video back in late 2020, right around when Security Breach was due to launch. But a few weeks later, the game was delayed. We did another theory in April of 2021 when the game was once again due to release, but shortly after, the game was once again delayed. Both of these videos were
That made me
heavy on
sad.
predictions as to what the game was going to be about. So would it be that strange to believe that we may have gotten a bit too close? If you look at all the content
Probably.
that was cut from the game via channels like Tetrabit Gaming, you start to see elements
was
of
bowling?
the original story start to poke through. Like the fact that at one point in development, there was such a thing called the Vanny meter. And
Oh,
as
yeah, I heard about
Vanny
that.
meter got full, security guard Vanessa would disappear only to transform into the evil Vanny. Something that we had actually theorized about a lot, but also something the final
What?
game was weirdly cagey about. Now, I can't necessarily say that I have
I don't know
solid
why they
proof
took that out.
Security Breach changed
I really don't understand why. When I say this, I do like Steel Wool. Like, there's no hate, but yeah, it really makes me wonder why they took like some of the stuff that they had in out. Because I heard like there was some crazier dialogue than what was in the game. I heard like there was the Vanny meter, and I heard there was like some mini games that were taken out and stuff. And I think there was like a 2-player feature that was being worked on. Like, yeah, I kind of wish Security Breach was worked on a tiny bit longer, and like that some of these games don't like kind of. How do I word this? I kind of wish that some of these games don't cater to the theorist side and what the fan lore, or what like the fan lore community wants. Like, if the fan community is, or if the lore community is saying like, oh, I want this to happen in the lore, I hope they don't look too much at it and just keep what they had intended in the game and just don't change too much according to what the audience says and just make the game how they thought it was going to be, you know? Like, listening to your audience is good, but you can do that to a fault, and MatPat just showed us some of that.
things based on online theories.
I might
Scott
have explained it
himself has
stupidly.
admitted that he's changed things based on what the fan base has found interesting.
See, that's what I'm
Scott-
that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, this is like, make games how you want to make a game. If it's in your head and you're like, this is the game, put it out, because sometimes you may just like release something and it may be like because you kind of tried to cater too hard to the fans. Like, for example, like Luigi's Mansion 1 on the GameCube. Like, I feel like the beta version of that game had more scarier things for the audience, but Nintendo went and changed the game and Luigi's Mansion 1 became what it was today. Now, Luigi's Mansion 1 is a good game, but they had a couple of good features in it, like a ghost that would appear behind Luigi and send him into a scared animation. It looked really funny and really cool. I wish they would have kept that in, but I guess Nintendo kind of catered more to their childhood audience, so they kind of took that out, you know?
In his own words says,
Like, if you have an idea,
Game
keep
Theory
it.
Videos, you know, and
Don't shy away from it.
Me and Matt have sometimes had an antagonistic relationship back and forth. You know, I inconvenience him with my games, and sometimes he inconveniences me with his theories, you know, but it's all in good fun. He did a video on that box, and he kind of said that he thinks the contents of the box changed over the years. But I saw that and I was like, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. The contents of that box have changed.
I forgot
over the
about
years.
this interview.
What
Holy
I was
crap.
intending the game to be when it happened, and then after the reaction of it, I was like, I need to craft this into something better for the people who see this as important, and that kind of indirectly does change the contents of the box, you know, because it changes the contents of everything that came before.
What was in that box anyway?
Or changing the details within a game, your story, and in turn your fan base that theorized and loved your game are the ones that ultimately suffer. Let's be honest, FNAF lore always been complicated, even when you're not talking about these changes, but it never felt like the games suffered. It felt like Scott was very much in control of the story and where it was going, but Security Breach was just a lot messier than your standard Freddy Fazbear experience, from a gameplay standpoint and from a lore standpoint.
Okay.
And if fan theories were right,
I mean, personally, I like the gameplay. There was just a couple of bugs, you know? But, like, the story was kind of like, what? Like, I don't know. It was like 50% for me, like, in terms of the story, but 100% for me in the gameplay, because, like, the story was just, like, there's a lot of stuff everywhere. There's a lot of stuff that gets introduced, and a lot of stuff that gets closed out all rushy-like, and,
and they changed the original story.
It's like,
because of
sorry for pausing a lot, but it's like how Matt Pat explained it in his other videos, like, they kind of threw stuff on the wall just to see what would stick, kind of, in terms of the lore.
Explain why the game was so unpolished and the lore so incomplete. By rushing to try and make something surprising, they ultimately shot themselves in the foot. They changed elements of the story to make it different, but forgot to take everything out. And so we're left wondering if Vanny and Vanessa are the same person.
They aren't.
Everything up to that point had been leading up.
I'm still holding that. They aren't.
The princess's name in the game files back to Princess instead of
I mean, they are. They are the
the
same person. I'm stupid.
They've now changed retroactively, which makes it all the more confusing. Were we right and they changed it? Was this an Easter egg? Was it intentional?
Dang, this video
Who
actually made me
knows?
think a lot.
Just let us have something. And you see, that's the point. Let us have something. Developers, if you're watching, just let us be right. Don't be afraid that YouTubers or Reddit threads guessing the story is gonna make your game any less fun. If anything, it adds to the excitement for us theorists. When we get to that final boss and the twist is revealed and we realize that we had called it all along, that is way more satisfying than a half-finished game with a messy story meant to subvert our expectations. It means that congratulations, you laid out the clues in a sensible way that some very dedicated fans were able to follow and piece together. And hey, if and when we get stuff wrong, that's great too. We're okay with that. It just means that we have more to theorize about. In the end, don't sacrifice your game's integrity just trying to make us wrong in retrospect. I think Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin said it best.
You know, I have certain things that I'm laying clues for that there'll be revelations later on. Some people had put together those clues even as early as 1998 and are adding things together. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? Yeah, these people have guessed the secret that I'm going to reveal in book 6. People have already guessed that here, and book 2 is just out. You really have two choices there. You can ignore it and proceed with your plan, despite the fact that some people know where you're going. Or you can get all panicky and say, oh my God, they figured it out. I can't let that be. I'll have to change it. I'll have to go in a different direction. And I think some writers do that. And I think that's always a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, if you've planned your book that the butler did it, and then you read on the internet, someone has figured out that the butler did it, and you suddenly change in midstream and it was the chambermaid who did it, then you screw up the whole book, because you get this foreshadowing early on, and you've got these little clues you planted, now that ends, and you have to introduce other clues, and you're retconning. It's a mess.
We know developers recognize the impact reactions from fans.
Yeah, I like how he thinks.
Include extras in games for us to find, hoping for us to get excited about finding them. But too many games that started out in a really good place with a passionate team making something they love get a taste of that hype train and start changing things. Suddenly, they're trying to chase the train for just one more ride rather than staying the course. Obviously, we love great games with hidden lore, but not at the cost of everything else. We love when developers try and stretch themselves to achieve something special, but we don't want to see internet clout cause them to compromise their vision. Just make the game and the story that you want to make, the one you intend to make.
Yes!
If it's well made and enjoyable,
Exactly what I was saying.
We'll inevitably want to play it and talk about it. If we guess the story early, that's totally okay. Add some Easter eggs pointing to the next
That's probably what Cyberpunk did, and that's why it came out horrible.
And if you don't want to include any real lore at all, fine. I'll still be here, ready to claim that it's secretly a sequel.
But then again, it was probably a lot of crunch time.
Let them argue their theories, whether they're right, whether they're wrong, but I don't need to know about that.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Dang, this one was a banger. I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was probably one of Matt Pet's like best videos I've watched. But nah, he's not wrong though. Like, I feel like too many game developers really like take stuff and like they have it. Like, they take stuff out of their minds and then they have it, but then, like, something just happens and they just wipe the whole slate clean and then they just go overboard with it and, like, mess up what they had just right in front of the audience. Like, I don't know. Yeah, game developers just need to take the shot. Like, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't shoot. You know, I'm tired. I can't even talk. But, like, yeah, just shoot your shot. You know? You'll miss if you don't. That's what I'm trying to say to the devs. Like, if there's any devs somehow watching this video, shoot your shot because you'll miss if you don't. Don't listen to the audience. Don't get mad, or don't listen to the audience that's like really mad about how something might go, or don't listen to the audience if they like figure it out. Just push it. Just push it. Don't be scared. All right. Anyway, guys, if you guys like this reaction, make sure you guys hit that like button, comment below, subscribe for more Come History today, turn on all notifications, and make sure you guys check out my FB gaming channel tonight. I do have some Overwatch 2 beta gameplay there. And I'll see you all some Kisters later. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments.